Okay. We are live. I'm going to just make sure. Welcome, everyone. I just want to make sure we are live on Facebook. I'm going to check on my phone. It says we're live, but I want to make sure we are before we start talking and nobody can see us. Okay. Let's see. I can't see us. Paul, do you have something on play?
No. Oh yeah, I can see us.
Okay. All right. Hello. Okay. No echo. Awesome. So let me make sure. I hear an echo. Paul, mute your phone or your screen or something. I don't think it's me.
Yeah, I don't hear anything.
Okay. Hello. Perfect. So we're good. Hello, everyone. Oh, hello from Kansas. Hello. Hi, Rebecca. Hi, Mustafa. Hi, Carolyn. Hi, Louisa. Hi, Elke. Welcome to season 3 of the Polished Lifestyle TV with Sterling Clinton Spellman, the Polisher. I'm so excited to be back. This show, in the past, I have featured women of color. And this year, we're doing a little different. We have a brother of color here tonight, our Black brother, Paul Carrick Brunson. And I'm so excited to have him. This season, we're featuring all the speakers from my up-and-coming conference, PolishCon 2018, that's taking place the last weekend in May. And Paul is our keynote speaker. So super excited to have him on. I'm going to go ahead and bring Paul on. Paul, you're on. Hey, I thought you weren't there. You're there.
It was funny, Sterling. I was not going to say anything. I was like, look, you can see me. She doesn't come on the screen. I should be doing something crazy because she doesn't even see me.
But we're here. Be live in a minute. And it's so funny. Paul is there. And I'm like, welcome, Paul. Hello, Paul.
What's up? How are you doing?
I am doing great. I'm super excited. I'm actually in a hotel live from New Jersey. I'm at a training, a Girl Circle training that was absolutely amazing. And I said we had to get this interview in because Paul is a busy man. I wanted to make sure we got him on the first episode.
I appreciate it. Thank you for having me. You know what's really cool? It's cool to see so many folks taking advantage of Facebook Live. You know what I mean? And building their own thing. I remember like 6-7 years ago, everybody wanted to be on TV. Forget that. Everybody is their own, their own media company right now. And you're taking advantage of it. I love it. I'm proud of you.
Thank you. So I want to give this man his due credit. I'm going to go ahead and read Paul's bio. But before I do that, please go ahead and share because this is going to be an awesome conversation. I need you to go ahead and share, tag a friend, let them listen in on this conversation. This man drops gems every sentence. So you need to join in, have your friends, your mama, your children. Everybody needs to hear this conversation tonight. Okay, I guarantee you, I promise you're going to get some awesome gems from this conversation. So, Paul Carrick Brunson, mentor, entrepreneur, and television host, is recognized as one of the most influential small business leaders in the world. The former investment banker founded PCBA in 2009, an award-winning matchmaking agency that was acquired in 2016. Appearing as the co-host of Oprah Winfrey's Network's Lovetown, Oprah notes Paul is much more than a matchmaker. And I know Paul, he is much more than a matchmaker. Yes. So, debuting in 2017, Paul is hosting and executive producing a primetime docuseries on ABC. Paul also hosts Our World by Black Enterprise, a weekly syndicated network and cable TV show where he interviews today's top newsmakers and business leaders. In 2016, it was announced Columbia Pictures secured the rights to Paul's life story to create a film about him being a pioneering matchmaker. This man's about to have a movie about him. Hello. Talk about Black Panther. We got our own Black Panther right here. He's received the NAACP Image Award nomination for his book entitled It's Complicated, but It Doesn't Have to Be, a modern-day guide to finding and keeping love. Also in 2017, Paul was named a LinkedIn's top voice, honoring the platform's most influential writer. Real quick before I finish his bio, if you are not following Paul on LinkedIn, you need to. He drops dimes all the time, right?
Can I say something real quick?
Go ahead.
I haven't posted on Facebook in probably 2-3 weeks, which is a long time for me. But I'm on LinkedIn almost every day. LinkedIn is it for 2018. It's crazy for me to say this as we're on Facebook. But LinkedIn is crazy right now.
Yes, and I want Paul, before we end the live today, please write a note. I'm gonna write a note too for you to talk about the 4 in 4 challenge and why it's important. Okay. So let me finish up. Paul's insight and unique understanding of business skills, relationships, and personal development, that's why he's here tonight, has made him a sought-after expert on interpersonal relationships, entrepreneurship, and having appeared in over 350 major media outlets around the world, including appearances on Good Morning America, The Today Show, Nightline, CNN, Entertainment Tonight, The Washington Post, Black Enterprise, Essence, Ebony, and more. He was awarded the Innovator of the Year by the Jamaican Impact Organization. Paul founded a professional organization called BLIP, Black Love Industry Professionals, which is the largest member organization in the love industry. He serves on the board of directors of, help me out, Bashir? Bashir.
It's so hard. Call it BAU.
University in Istanbul, Turkey. He is a global man. Paul also sits on the board of advisors for the Matchmaking Institute, the oldest matchmaking professional organization. And most importantly, this is why I really appreciate this brother. Okay, so he has his degrees from Old Dominion and McDonough School of Business at Georgetown University. But here's why I love him. He has a beautiful wife of 16 years named Jill and 2 handsome sons, Kingston and Liam. So not only is he a successful businessman, he is also a loving husband and father. Let's give it up for Paul and give us a verse of virtual claps, okay?
Feel the love. I feel the love, Sterling. Thank you. That was good. You were building up like a good, Baptist, flow, low tone. You built it up at the end. Thank you.
Yes. So I want to tell a little story how I met Paul, okay, as we start our conversation. So y'all always hear me, for all the people that have been following me, right? I always tell you it's important to serve. It's important to be a go-giver, not a go-getter. Be a go-giver. One of my favorite books, you'll need to check it out. You have to be a go-giver. Always giving to others, serving, over-delivering. I had an opportunity to be an ambassador at my coach's conference last April. And I didn't know when I signed up to be a volunteer, I was going to be the lead volunteer for the speakers. So they told me that when I got there, and who was I in charge of to make sure that he got to the hotel, make sure that he was on time to speak, make sure that he had his check, his food, his everything, and that he was comfortable and ready to serve. I had that responsibility. And he was so pleasant. He wasn't a divo. He was totally cool. He didn't give me a hard time. But while I was there, Paul and I had an opportunity to talk about, our kids, to talk about business, to just talk about life in general. And I had an awesome time. And I stayed in touch with him. And he probably doesn't know this, but I started thinking, I was like, I want to ask Paul to speak at my conference. And I had this email for 4 months, this message in my phone, because I was so afraid. I don't know why I was afraid. I was afraid to ask him. And I sent him the message the day I finally got the courage. I was like, Stella, are you insane? You tell people to cut this shit all the time, right? That's my book, my latest book. Cut this shit. Stop having insignificant thoughts and just do it. And I'm sitting here with a message in my inbox for almost 4 months. I finally sent it. And when I tell you, he wrote back in 5 seconds. And I was afraid to look at the message because I was like, he said no. He said no. And he was like, of course. What do you mean official way? He was like, of course, your family. And he said yes. So Paul, tell us about the experience at Epic Conference with me and then why you said yes.
Can I say this too, though, is that because there's a key part of the story you left out. Okay. In the message you sent me, we're already cool. But you try to make it all official. You flipped it up on me. You were like, all right, who do I need to get in touch with? Who are your representatives? So that we could, I was like, what? Just let's make it happen, right? So, but no, I mean, at the end of the day, I think we do business with people we like. And I think this is a really important distinction between the way that we were kind of taught back in the day, where there's business and personal and they're separate. No, they're not separate. Business and personal are actually the same. They're not mutually exclusive. And so we have to understand that we do business with people we like. A matter of fact, you buy products, not the products you like, but you buy the products because you like the people behind the products. We buy the brand. And so that's the reason why I said yes, Sterling, because we're cool, right? And I think that's just important for everybody to really grasp, because it's not about trying to run out and make sure that everybody likes you, but it is important that you know, especially if you're an entrepreneur, that people are actually buying you, not necessarily your product or your service.
Y'all hear that? I told you this man has nuggets. I told you he has nuggets. Paul, can you repeat that last part?
Yeah, absolutely. I have no idea what I just said. No. People are not buying you. If you're an entrepreneur making products and services, they're really buying you. They're buying your experience. And I'll give you an example, is that when
Paul, we lost you.
Okay, you're buying this you're buying this phenomenal, autonomous vehicle. No, you're really buying the brand Elon Musk and everything that Elon Musk has built around Tesla. And he's like the living version of Iron Man and all this. Like, that's really what you're buying into. And so we have to remember that people buy other people, not necessarily other products and services.
And this is perfect. This leads us into personal development. One of the things I always say is, no matter where you go, there you are. No matter where you go, there you are. You heard what he just says. People are buying because of you. And if you don't have your stuff together, guess what? They ain't going to buy from you. They're not going to want to work with you. You have to be the best and highest version of yourself. And so personal development has really transformed my life. And that's why I'm putting on a conference about personal development and giving people the tools, resources, and implementable steps to make sure that they're able to fill the gap that they need. Because many times we hear the valley story and we hear the mountaintop story, and we don't know any of the in between. Well, how did you get from the valley to the mountaintop, right? And so this is what we're going to be providing at the conference. Paul, I want to ask you a question. How has personal development impacted your life?
It's everything. It's everything. It's what's interesting is like, Sterling, I love to read. I'm a straight book nerd. Yeah. And it just so happens that I'm reading a book right now by this guy, Anders Ericsson. And the reason why I love this book is called Peak. And Peak, by the way, is, I think, one of those must reads for everybody. And rarely do I see Peak on the list that business owners should buy, or people interested in development must buy. But the reason why I love it is because ultimately the whole idea around Peak is that we have no limits. So this guy, Anders Ericsson, he's an expert on how people gain expertise. And he's looked at every expert around the world, whether it be someone in sports, in music, in business. And his findings show that it's actually not about talent per se. Talent is not something that, I think we're conditioned to believe that we all have a certain talent or a certain potential in life. But our potential is truly limitless. And it's through personal development that allows us to break those limits. And so that's the reason why I love that book. And that's something that I passionately believe, is that we really live a limitless life. But it's up to us to actually go out and aggressively, focus on personal development, or focus on what Anders Ericsson calls deliberate practice, in order to, reach our highest highs.
Awesome. So that speaks to intention. Setting intentions for yourself, that though whatever you've been through, you can still come up. And right. This brings me to a good story that I was reading about you, Paul, about when you were in high school and how you almost flunked out.
Oh, yeah.
Can you tell us a little bit about that? Because people hear his greatness, right? They hear how amazing he is. And they think he was just born like that. I believe, listen, let me say that again. I believe we all are born great, but we have to be intentional, like this man was saying. What is his name again? The name of the author of the book?
Anders Ericsson.
Anders Ericsson. When he was saying we have to be intentional about it. So, Paul, can you tell us a little bit about like your high school days when you was trying to play games?
Yeah.
Life.
You know what's funny about that, Sterling? And this is like I love that people think this. Like a lot of people that I meet, or I speak a lot at different events, or if I'm on TV, everyone just assumes that I was like this straight A student and I was loved by all my teachers. But anybody, especially if you're watching this and you went to high school with me, right, or even below high, you realize that I was a mess up. I was a screw up in high school. I mean, my guidance counselors told me, they actually didn't even put college on the potential list for me. The
wow.
number one thing, I never will forget this. When I was a junior and everyone was going in to see the guidance counselors, the guidance counselor was then suggesting what the juniors should focus on in their senior year to help them when they graduate. And people were going in and the guidance counselor would say, you should focus on the Ivy League schools, or maybe you should focus on, the junior colleges, right? When I went in, the number one thing the guidance counselor told me is you would make a great plumber. and that's no shade to, because plumbers do all right. I know a plumber right now that's killing it right now.
Yes.
But that was what my guidance counselor told me. You would make a great plumber. And I remember thinking, oh, that's interesting. But here's where I think you talk about the motivation, right, Sterling? Here's where you have to surround yourself with people who are really killing it and crushing it. Because if I was surrounded with people who were like, okay, Paul, plumbing, that's cool. That's you. That's what you should do. Then I would have done that. But when I brought plumbing back to like my parents or my like aunts, they were like, what? They're like, what? Like, are you crazy?
Did you make it? Say it in patois.
I wish I could. I can't. But I will say this. There was a lot of cursing going on. There was a lot of a whole because I think it just really underscores the importance of that motivation you're talking about, Sterling. But you have to be around people who see you're limitless, who see, the fact that you are great. And I think that's okay. A lot of us will say, you know what? We should be the greatest thinkers among our peers or our group or the 5 people that we spend the most time with. No, I think that you should be around people who see the best of you and the best in you and the best from you, right? Because that's where you're going to source your motivation. Your belief is going to come from the people that you spend the most time with and the content that you spend the most time with. So, that's what I learned. That was a big lesson coming out of junior year in high school.
You see, you would think Paul and I had a conversation about this before. I say that almost every single day on my lives, that you have to be around people who motivate you, who stretch you, who encourage you, not people who are okay with you just playing below the radar.
Right.
Because we know that's a reality for most people. The people who are around them are cool with them being mediocre.
All the time.
They're cool with you just chilling and being broke, or, hey, we're going to the club every weekend, or, hey, let's spend money on things that really don't, that's not an investment in ourselves. He just said it. If he wasn't around people who really believed in his greatness, who really saw his potential, he would have been a plumber. And not saying, like he said, plumbers are bad, but we see the amazing work that he has done. The lives that he has touched wouldn't have been touched because he would just be a plumber running his business, maybe working in homes and doing different things like that, right?
I'd be a great plumber, though. I have a great plumbing business. I have plumbing locations all around the world.
That's what I'm talking about. He was going to do it big anyway. But we're happy that he chose this life, that he works every single day to better himself. Can you please let us know how many books you read per month? I love this.
Oh, man. Well, I treat, on average, I read about 3 a week, on average, every week.
a week. Y'all hear that? I'm trying to step my game up to 3 a month. Y'all hear that? And why? Can you just tell us why? We know it's part of your personal development regimen, right? Because you have a personal development regimen. But can you tell us why you read those many books?
Yeah, I mean, it's for that. It's because I want to be better. You know, I'm ambitious. And I think that that's a value that I have, that I think a lot of people do have, that value around ambition. Although I will say, I think a lot of people claim to have a value of ambition, but are not truly ambitious. But you know, that's my thing. I want to be better than I was yesterday. And what I realized about reading is that reading gives us instant access to, you know, it allows us to steal what Malcolm Gladwell calls 10,000 hours. Right? Yeah. And actually, can I say this? Because I talked about Anders Ericsson.
Please.
A lot of us, when we hear about the 10,000 hours, we automatically think about Malcolm Gladwell, what Malcolm Gladwell said in one of his books, where he said, hey, if you want to be an expert at anything, you have to spend 10,000 hours doing it. But in truth, Malcolm Gladwell stole that theory. That was not a Malcolm Gladwell theory. That theory actually came from Anders Ericsson. Wow. And Anders Ericsson said you need to have not just 10,000 hours, you need to have 10,000 hours of what he calls deliberate practice. So here's the difference. What Malcolm Gladwell was saying was, if you spend 10,000 hours at something, so say I took a basketball and I just start shooting for 10,000 hours, right? And say it took me years and years and years to shoot, I would take the ball, shoot the ball to the hoop. If I did that for 10,000 hours, I'm still not an expert at the end of that. The reason why is because I could be shooting incorrectly the entire time, right? Wow. So the reason why Anders Ericsson says it's about 10,000 hours of deliberate practice is because you need to shoot, and then you need to get the advice or insight or expertise from someone who knows how to shoot, so that they could give you the feedback. You could take that feedback and then start shooting again, right? And that's the deliberate practice. You're trying, you're going to an expert, and then you're trying again, then you're going back to the expert, and then you're trying again, and you keep doing that for 10,000 hours. The reason why I say this, and the reason why I read so much, is because you think about these experts, like in all these books, right? These people, like, I mean, look at this. Look at this. I'm just pulling this out. Robert Greene, Mastery. It took Robert Greene, I believe it was over a decade of research to write this book. So if I read this book, I've now borrowed 10,000 hours from him, right? I've been able to hack the system a little bit, because now I don't have to spend a decade researching Mastery, because Robert Greene has just distilled all of his decade worth of information. So reading is so fundamental because it allows us to become experts much faster.
Yes. So I hope you all go and pick up some books. Later on, I'm going to ask Paul to give us some of his favorite books. And as y'all can see, he knows a lot about books. He reads 3 a week. So I urge you to start, because I know some people haven't read or don't read regularly since college.
Yeah.
Or since they were in high school. So I urge you this month to go pick up one book, and start making it a habit for you to learn. And guess what? They have audiobooks, Audible, even on iTunes, you could get books. My husband and I, as we were driving up to New York this week, we listened to The Go-Giver in the car, and we said we're going to listen to it again on the way home because it was so good. So there's many ways for you to consume the personal development content that you need today. Like this right now, this is a form of personal development that we are sharing with our audience tonight, doing this live. Right. So many ways you can consume information. So Paul, can you tell us a little bit, and you don't have to go into detail because they have to pay for their tickets to be able to get to PolishCon. But can you tell us a little bit about some of the things that you will be talking about, or really what you really want to drive home for the attendees at PolishCon? For the people who are just joining and maybe don't know me, my name is Sterling Clinton Spellman, The Polisher. This is season 3 of the Polish Lifestyle TV. In this season, we are featuring all the speakers that will be speaking at PolishCon, the ultimate personal development experience. You need to be there, Providence, Rhode Island. And just a little bit of backstory. I created this conference because I was tired of attending events in Rhode Island where I was the only woman of color. And I was like, this is just too much. Why do I have to go to California? Why do I have to go to DC? Why do I have to go to Texas? And you know what they say, when you want to see a change and it's not happening, you create that change. So this is going to be our second year that we're doing this conference. This year, we want 150 women and some lucky men to be in the room. Paul is our keynote speaker, and if you become a VIP attendee, you will get to have lunch with him on Thursday and get to see him speak at the conference. So can some of my ambassadors put the website inside of the comment section? Thank you for everyone who is joining. I'll be sure to reply to all your questions after the live, and I'm going to try to get to some now. But Paul, can you give us just a little bit of what you're going to drive home for our attendees at the ultimate personal development experience?
Yes, I will, Sterling. Yes, I will. Can I say this too, Sterling?
Yes.
Listening to you, I'm so proud of you, right? And what you're doing, right? And what you are doing is what I believe we should all be doing. And this is the thing. We should be bringing Wakanda. We should be bringing it to us. And this is what I mean. I think everybody who saw Black Panther, which I'm assuming is everybody who's watched this, right? I think a lot of us left saying, if only, if only, like, man, like, I want to get there. Like, literally, my youngest son, and I took both of my boys, and I know it was a little violent, right, for a 4-year-old, but he can handle it, right?
Yes.
He came out of there saying he wanted to go to Wakanda. He thinks we could jump on a plane right now and fly to Wakanda. He's like, this summer, they're like, aren't we going to Wakanda? Like, but here's the thing. We may not necessarily be able to go, but we can create it, right? Yes. That's a lot of the hope that the movie left with me. And what you're doing is you're creating your piece. And I'm proud of that. I'm really proud of that. So, what I'm going to talk about basically is, I'm going to bring the latest and greatest kind of tools, strategies, and hacks around personal development, because personal development is it. Like, it is. I think when we say personal development, a lot of people start going to sleep like, oh, this kind of thing, learning soft skills, like. But at the end of the day, here's what we all want. We all of us. And tell me, if you are watching this right now and you disagree, go ahead and put it in the comments. But if you agree, then say you agree, right? So here's what I believe everybody watching this wants. One of three things. Autonomy. What is autonomy? It means not punching a clock. It means having your own kind of your wherewithal to do what you want. Maybe that means you're working for yourself, or maybe that means you're working for someone that gives you freedom, but you don't want to be micromanaged. That's one. We want autonomy. Two is we want impact. We want to know that we're not just working for a check, but the work that we're doing will make an impact, maybe in this world, maybe for a particular person, maybe for a particular organization, but we want to have impact. The third thing that we want is we want money. Okay, look, it takes money to keep the lights on, right? It takes money to do these things. So we want money. So I believe that all of us want autonomy, we want impact, and we want money. Now, some of us want more impact than we want money, right? Some of us want more money than we want impact, but all of us want that to a certain degree. How do you get that? The only way to get that is you have to master skills. That's it. The people in this world who have the most autonomy, the most impact, the most money. Actually, Sterling, tell me, who can you think of that has crazy autonomy, crazy impact, and crazy money? Tell me.
Our godmother, Oprah Winfrey, your mentor.
Okay. Aunt O definitely has all three, right?
Yes.
Where are her skills? Well, let me tell you, she has ridiculous skills, but you know what she is one of the best in the world at doing? She is one of the best interviewers in the world. Literally, if you go to communication school here at Howard University down the street from me in Washington.
Okay, Paul just dropped off. He will be back. Oh, there you are.
You know, but actually, Sterling, did I drop or did you drop?
You dropped. I was still here. You dropped off.
All right, cool. But see, but for Howard, or any one of these C schools, right? All of them will teach you that. They will teach you about Oprah Winfrey when they talk about interviewers. They'll teach you about Barbara Walters, maybe Katie Couric. But the point is that she developed her skills to become one of the best interviewers in the world. And she was able to leverage that to do all of the things that she's doing today. So ultimately, the most important thing we could do is to develop our skills. And here's my promise. My promise is if you become the best in the world at something, whatever it is, but if you become one, or should I say one of the best in the world, you will have autonomy, you will have crazy impact, and you will make a lot of money. So that's what we're talking about at the conference, is how to get that autonomy, how to get that impact, how to get that money through personal development.
Hello. Y'all know my motto at Polished by Sterling is refine your mindset, lead like a boss, and live a profitable life in all areas of your life. And Paul just spelled it out for you. That's what personal development does for you. I tell people before I spend money on clothes, on shoes, on going anywhere, I spend money on investing myself. Going to a conference, a book, a course, a coach. You have to invest into your personal development. And that could be time, energy, and resources, meaning money. All of that, because there's some people who will spend the money on a coach, but don't do anything that the coach says, right? So you got to be willing to invest in yourself at all levels to make sure that you are receiving what it is that you need. Remember to fill that gap, because many of us know the stories of where people have been, and we know where you want to go, but we don't know the how. And so that's what we're going to be providing for you at the conference, is the how. Okay, so Paul, what's your favorite quote?
Oh man, I mean, I've got so many, but because we've been talking about Anders Ericsson, let me hit you with this one, right? Anders Ericsson, he's all about expertise. He says that learning is not a way to develop our potential. Okay. Learning is a way to actually reach our potential, right? And so this whole idea of learning, becoming an expert, focusing on deliberate practice, like all of that stuff is like, you keep talking about it, I keep talking about it, but it really is it at the end of the day. So like my question is, after everybody watches this, like, what do you do next? Yes. Right? And the key is that you want to keep focused on how can you become better? Is that through reading? Is that through a coach, like you said? Is that through going to a conference? Is that through going back to school? But every day you should be working on getting better.
And start with 5 minutes. Thank you, Paul. Every single day, it's your responsibility to do something to get better. So if you're not a person that does that right now, start with 5 minutes. 5 minutes can be long when you don't do anything, right? So start with 5 minutes, reading a book, listening to a podcast. While you're in the car, turn off the radio and put on a podcast, put on an audiobook. While you're cleaning the house, put on an audiobook, put on a YouTube video, put on a Facebook Live where people are encouraging you, teaching you something to better yourself, right? Okay, Paul. People are asking in the chat.
Okay.
What is one book? One book.
But hold on though.
Okay, we can go back.
Did anybody in the chat agree or disagree?
Yes, let me go to the chat.
Okay, yeah, I mean, because really, I want to see, do folks agree with we want autonomy, we want impact, and we want money? Is that an agreement or a disagreement?
Yes. Shay said money, 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 money. The aim. So, Kalis, I think you're saying that's your aim. You want all of it, right?
Okay.
Let's see. I agree. Sandy, I agree. Robin, I agree. Louisa, I agree. Tammy.
That's what's up. You got a smart audience, Sterling, watching. You got a smart audience. I love it.
Yes. Let's see. Let me go through the comments. And Paul, at the end, can you take about 3 questions from the audience?
Yeah, no doubt.
A little bit of time. Okay. Watching from the Bahamas. Welcome, Kalis.
Bahamas.
Bahamas right now.
Yes.
Let's see. And Paul, sorry, you said I'm putting all these demands on this man. Also, can you tell us a little bit about what the work you're doing in Jamaica? Because I think it's awesome. Yes. And as an educator, I cannot wait to join you one day to serve that community.
Okay, no doubt.
All right, so.
All right.
Your book, your favorite book.
Okay, so, all right, so Sterling, I don't think it's possible. I don't think it is humanly possible to recommend just one book. That's like me saying, here's one Dorito. it doesn't happen. Here's one potato chip for you. Here's one scoop ice cream. Like you can't just get that. Like you need to have a lot. But I will throw this out. This is a wild card. And I guarantee no one watching has this book. This book, and I brought this one over. This book just arrived today. It is already, as soon as it came, my wife and I sat down and we couldn't take our eyes off of it. I believe every entrepreneur, especially of color, who is a woman, must have this book or should have read through this book. What is the book? The book is Fired Up, Ready to Go.
Okay.
Ready to go. Now, why do I know no one has this book? Because this book just came out, right? The first delivery for this book was today. Who is this book about? This book is about one of my mentors and one of my friends and one of the most, her name is Peggy Cooper Kafritz, one of the most brilliant people I know. And what is so bittersweet about this book is about, so Peggy lived this whole life being at the intersection of art, politics, and activism.
Ooh.
And she did incredible things, made millions of dollars, right? For all of those that like the money. Was it Shay that said money, money, money?
Yeah, Shay, yeah.
Millions of dollars, right? For those who love activism, what did she do? She was, you know what? When Spike Lee couldn't get financiers to finance Malcolm X, when he couldn't get studios to finance Malcolm X, do you know who one of the first people who financed his film was? Peggy Cooper Kafritz.
Wow.
There were 7 people. It was like Denzel Washington, Michael Jordan, Michael Jackson, and Peggy, and a couple other people, right? She had one of the largest art collections. Like this book looks at her art collection, just incredible. Long story short is there are few people that I can say are my mentor to the level where I can go to their house and I can sit with them. Jill, my wife, and I would go to Peggy's house, have dinner, and she would tell us stories about her life and guide us in a way that I've never been guided before. It's so important to have mentors because you want to surround yourself with people who have done these incredible things. I mean, like incredible things that she's done in her life. Peggy, she died on Sunday.
Oh no. And her book just came out.
And her book just came out. She was looking forward to putting this book and her story out into the world. And, if you live in Washington, D.C., you've probably seen a lot of news about her, but there's not been a lot of news outside of Washington, D.C. about her. She is someone that you must study. I was getting ready. I was actually preparing to interview her for something that I'm calling the World Class Series, people who I believe are at the top of their careers. And Peggy was going to be my first interview. And all I want to say is this book, Fired Up, Ready to Go, is an amazing. I mean, look at this thing. This is a real book. This book, by the way, you know how much this book costs? $51.
Wow.
This is not a $2.99, flip through book. This is if you want to get into the depths of someone's life and understand their thought process, and then at the same time appreciate art and activism and politics and entrepreneurship, there's no better book written, right, by a Black woman, right? So Peggy Cooper K. Fritz, amazing book. I strongly recommend everyone pick it up.
Paul, thank you for sharing it. Sorry for your loss. And at the same time, I feel so grateful that before she died, she was able to get this work done.
Yes. Yeah.
Folks, this is why it's so important to move on action. When you have an idea for something, go ahead and move forward with it, because you never know. You never know. And for all of us who have our older people in our life, our parents, grandparents, have them write their stories down. I've been trying to get my father to write his stories down, record it, something, because what do they say when an elder dies, a library closes?
This is the truth.
We have her library.
Yeah, it's so incredible. I mean, we sat there today for like an hour saying, this is incredible that she finished her book and it came out, literally, the book came out the week of her death. I mean, it shows you that, that was, everyone has different religion, but, unfortunately, like, that was God's plan,
Yes.
And we're blessed to have it. And for those of you who are interested about leveling up in your life, get that book. It's going to put you on a whole nother level. I want to say this too, is Peggy taught me and taught my wife about the appreciation of art. And it's because of her that we started acquiring art. And it's been an incredible experience. Like right now I'm in my library, you guys can't see it, but I'm looking at Marcus Garvey painting, and W.E.B. Du Bois, another painting of his. And, it allows you as an entrepreneur today, most of us are creators. That's really what we have to be. Like, we are now creators. That is an element of entrepreneurship, is that you're a creator. And if you're a creator, you need to be able to think on a whole nother level than 10, 15 years ago, when you didn't have to worry about creating content.
Yeah.
Art is a way to wake up that part of the brain that maybe is asleep. That.
Awesome. Paul, Vetta says that she loves Peggy. She said that she worked with her on Duke Ellington's fundraiser. So this is Vetta Jamali Ridgeway folks.
There you go. Peggy, by the way, Vetta's talking about, shout out to you, Vetta. Peggy founded the Duke Ellington School of Performing Arts in Washington, D.C. Wow. Dave Chappelle went to Duke Ellington. Johnny Gill went to Duke Ellington. Yeah, I mean, it was of Peggy that these folks were. I mean, think of all the things, the incredible things that she's done in her life, and to think that I don't think a lot of people really knew her nationally or internationally. And so Vetta will attest. She was one of those people who, she was just like phenomenal. And so we're blessed to have her in our life. But she wanted more. You know what she wanted more than anything? And she wanted people of color to just level up. Like, that's what she wanted more than anything. And how she was able to do it was through surrounding herself with great people, stepping outside of her comfort zone, always developing herself. And this is the formula that we see everybody crushing to do it. So we have to use that formula.
Well, thank you, Miss Peggy, for leaving your mark and leaving your beauty mark. Something I always say is, we all are going to leave a mark on this earth, but we have to decide if it's going to be a blemish or a beauty mark. Are we going to leave it worse than what it is, or are we going to make it better and leave a beauty mark? So thank you, Miss Peggy, for leaving your beauty mark on this earth. We appreciate you for all your hard work, and may your soul rest in peace. So Paul, Carol says, I remember you from Mentor Mondays. You got me into reading. I went from never reading to finishing 13 books last year. Go ahead, Carol. Y'all give Carol some love in the chat.
Carol, that's big. Carol, that's like the best news I'm going to take when I go to sleep tonight, is what you just said, Carol. Major.
Yes, go ahead. Hi, Alfred. Hi, Robin. Awesome. That's amazing. Amazing. So, Paul, can you tell us one tip to refine your mindset, lead like a boss, and to live a profitable life? Are you still there? I think we lost him. Y'all give it a second. I think we lost Paul. Come on back to us. He'll come back. You know how technology is. So tell us how you are enjoying this chat so far. If you want more of this, if you want to get to meet the man, Mr. Paul Carrick Brunson, you got to be at PolishCon 2018. Go to www.polishcon.com. Elkie, could you put it in the chat again? Who wants to be entrepreneur? Come on now. Hello, come on. So we'll make sure you get your questions in. Awesome. So if you want to meet Paul, so he can drop some diamonds for you in person, you need to be at PolishCon 2018, August 26th to the 29th. You don't want to miss out. And if you are one of our Diamond VIP attendees, you will get to eat lunch with Paul on Thursday and get to have a real intimate conversation, okay? He's going to come on back. Let me see here. Thank you for joining. Yes. Hi, Sabine. So go ahead. We're going to take 3 questions, but before we do, here he is. He's back.
There you go.
He's back. Okay. So before you left, I was asking you if you could give us one tip to refine your mindset, lead like a boss, and live a profitable life. Remember, in all areas of your life. That means happiness, joy, wealth, health, everything.
Just one?
You can drop more. I don't want Jill to kill me because I kept you over time. Let me see.
Well, I think based on everything we've been talking about today, like real talk, and Carol said this, she did it, is read more. Like for real, read more. You know, the average person doesn't read at all. No books, that is, per year.
Yes.
Once you get out of school. But do you know that the average CEO reads anywhere from 25 to 30 books per year? Now, how and why? Because they understand that in order to do all those things that you said, to get ahead, to be a boss, to stay ahead, because it's not just about getting ahead. It's about then how do you stay ahead?
Yes.
To do all of those things, we have to read. You know, there's no shortcuts to this thing. And so read more. Please read more.
Y'all hear that? Success leaves clues. Do what you want to be a boss, do what the bosses are doing. You want to be a leader, do what the leaders are doing. Right? You want the 6-pack abs, do what the people with the 6-pack abs are doing. Right? Okay.
That's true. Yeah, that's right.
It's very true. Okay, so Paul, tell us about the 4 and 4 challenge really quick, and then about the work you're doing in Jamaica.
Okay, no doubt. So real quick is, we talked about this at the top, Sterling. I'm spending a lot of time on LinkedIn right now. And I'll tell you the reason why. This is going to sound crazy because I'm on Facebook, hating on Facebook. But let me just hate on Facebook real quick. Hopefully they don't completely not. But here's the thing. Well, as of, now about a month ago, we know that the algorithms on Facebook have completely changed. So you now, if you're posting content on Facebook, it's not going to reach a lot of people. The problem is that on Instagram, when you're posting now, it's not going to reach a lot of people. On Twitter, when you're posting, it's not going to reach a lot of people. But on LinkedIn, there are only half a billion people. I'm sorry, half a billion people on LinkedIn versus Facebook, where it's 2 billion people. The difference here is that LinkedIn serves up your content to a lot of people. So when you post something, a lot of people see that post. On top of that, what LinkedIn allows is that if someone who, say, has a lot of followers on LinkedIn likes your post or comments on your post or shares your post, then everyone in their feed will see it. So basically, if you want to grow your community fast, LinkedIn, I believe, is the best place to grow a community fast. Secondly is if you are about your business, there's no better place than LinkedIn. Folks on LinkedIn are not posting cat memes, right? They're not posting videos of people like dancing in the middle of the street somewhere. What's happening on Facebook is real business. I have, so this year.
LinkedIn, sorry.
On LinkedIn, I'm sorry. This year has been one of the first years that I am now almost fully booked for the year for speaking. Fully booked all the way through now to 2019.
Go ahead.
Most of those came LinkedIn, right in the inbox on LinkedIn. People want to do business on LinkedIn. So why did I do the 4 and 4 challenge? Because there's no video or there's no content that allows you to grow a community faster than video content. LinkedIn has a video platform now. And so my 4 and 4 challenge was, I said, okay, I want to challenge you, especially if you've never done video, to do at least one video every week for the next 4 weeks. 4 in 4 challenge, right? 4 videos in 4 weeks. And my commitment was, if you do a video, I will like it and I will comment on it. So therefore, all of my followers. So on LinkedIn, I'm blessed. Out of the 500 million people on LinkedIn, I'm in the top 1% of people followed on LinkedIn. So if I like or share or comment on your post on LinkedIn, hundreds of thousands of people are going to see this thing.
Yes.
And so I've been doing that, and people who have had videos or maybe never done a video are getting 20,000 views on videos, 5,000 views on videos. I mean, views that they've never gotten before. And then not only are they getting the views, but they are connecting with new people. They're building a community. Sterling, you share with me about how you connected with some cool people on the challenge. So if you are not on LinkedIn or you are on LinkedIn, get in this 4 and 4 challenge and build up your community. It's a wonderful, 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 wonderful platform. No disrespect, Mark Zuckerberg. Facebook is still.
Facebook is pay to play now. So if you try to pay to play, you're done.
Yeah.
I'm so grateful to Paul for that challenge because it really does work. And I literally just hired a speaker to come and speak at PolishCon from his 4 and 4 challenge. He commented on her video, and I was like, I so agree. And so I wrote on her video, and then she wrote me back, and then we started talking. I was like, okay, well, I don't know you, but you gotta come to Providence. And she was like, I'm cool, I'm down. Real business, real money exchange happening. So if you are not on LinkedIn and following Paul, following me, go ahead and do it tonight. This is what we're talking about, intentional action right now. Don't wait until, I'll wait until Friday. I'll wait until Monday. It's going to be over now, okay? And then tell us about Jamaica.
All right, so this is really big. This is probably the biggest thing that I've done, in my career, because I've been trying for almost 8 years to do this thing. So for 8 years, I've been trying to just rebuild a school. I wanted to rebuild a school so my mother's from Jamaica, from a town called Keith, near Discovery Bay. I wanted to just rebuild a school. So many politics and all this stuff, I couldn't do it. Now, Sterling, you're like, if you want to be be with the big boys and big girls, you got to do what they do. So I did what they did. And I got with one of my mentors, Enver Ugel, who is one of the billionaires that I work for, who's just an incredible mentor as well. I was able to then network in with the government of Jamaica, and we signed an incredible deal. It's a $10 million deal over the course of 3 years. It includes 3 major things. The first is we are going to be recruiting teachers. So in Jamaica, they have in excess of 2,000 teachers every year. A lot of people don't realize that Jamaica was the original jump off point for teachers throughout the Caribbean. So back in the day, not that far, like 20 years ago, if you wanted to be educated anywhere in the Caribbean, in parts of Africa, and also Southern America, you would want to send your kids to Jamaica to be taught, or to have Jamaican teachers come to you. So Jamaica is this place where they create phenomenal teachers, but there's not enough demand for Jamaican teachers right now. And a lot of them go unemployed in the island. So we've worked out a deal where through Mr. Ugel's educational institution, because he has locations all around the world, we're going to be hiring hundreds of Jamaican teachers and sending them, throughout the world, and then they'll come back to Jamaica. And that in itself is just a huge deal. The second part of it is that we are building a school right now. So we haven't broken ground yet. Hopefully we'll be breaking ground in April. But this town, it's in Lioneltown, so maybe about 40 minutes outside of Kingston. It's a pre-primary school. We're going to be building the school from the ground up. And the beauty is that we're not building like a real quick over-the-weekend school. We're building a state-of-the-art pre-primary school. So right now, because I just went and visited the school, the existing school has got like aluminum walls up, and it's separated by like cardboard. And there's 80 kids in there that 90% of their parents are unemployed. It's an impoverished school. We are going to be building a state-of-the-art school. I'm talking about computer labs. I'm talking about just incredibly resourced school. And we're going to be doing teacher training. There's a lot that we're doing. And so that's the second part. But the third part is that this is just the first of what I hope to be 17 schools that I'll be a part of building. And so, I throw this out that very soon I'm going to be posting information about how you can help, how you can donate resources, how you could come out to Jamaica to work on the school. And so all of that is going to be, is going to be published soon. But that's the quote unquote project in Jamaica that I'm working on.
Look at leaving his beauty mark on this earth. You hear that? Just amazing. So I'm actually in New Jersey for a training called Girl Circle. I'm coming to Jamaica to do Girl Circle with that school. We're going to make it happen. I'm so down.
When you see these kids, man, you're going to want to take them home.
I know. That's why I get into social work, because I would have brought all the people's kids home. But as an educator, all my students are still close to me because I love it. My heart. Paul, that is so amazing. Listen, this man is doing amazing things. So not only is he helping business leaders get their life right, helping them with personal development, his knowledge share program, he's doing amazing webinars. He's on Black Enterprise. I forgot the name of the show. Tell me again.
Which one?
On Black Enterprise.
Oh, Our World. Yeah.
Our World on Black Enterprise. He's a husband. He's a father, and his kids are absolutely cute. Just amazing. But he's doing such great things in the world, but it's a testament to him reading all these books and pouring into himself on a daily basis, folks. This can be your life too. And I don't mean living Paul's life, but meaning living the best version of your life. Right. All right. We had a few questions and then we're going to go. I'm going to let him go. So I think it was Sandy. Sandy, you said something about women. What advice can you give to busy moms and career women? So I'm going to shout out Sandy really quick. Sandy is my best friend from college. She just turned 30. She's a professor at NYU. She's a DNP, and she has 4 kids under the age of 5. Wow. So she's talking about being busy. But give us some tips.
That's a level of busy that I don't know. Like being busy under 5? What?
Yes.
So you know what's incredible about that question is this shows you like I'm real Jamaican because I've got like 8 jobs. There's a project I'm working on, and it touches upon this, about is it possible in particular for women who have like you're a single mother, how do you launch? And what I've found in the research around this project is there are not dozens, not hundreds. There are thousands of women who are successfully launching businesses right here in the United States that, have those same challenges. So know that it is possible. B, the first thing that you want to do is surround yourself with people who are already doing it.
Yes.
Because you don't need to recreate the wheel. You need to see what they're doing. The other thing is, some of the quote unquote basic things, but you want to have a great support system. You have to have a great support system. Also know that you don't have to jump right into full-time entrepreneurship. there's this thought, and I used to say this a lot, like, oh, you know, you got to do it bigger or you can't do it at all. Yeah. I was crazy for saying that. No, you can baby step your way into it, half step your way into it, right? Experiment a little bit. A lot of people, you know, the number one reason why businesses fail, a lot of people don't realize this. Actually, Sterling, can I put you on the spot real quick at the end?
Yes.
All right. And I'm only saying this because I think you're going to get it wrong.
Okay.
Because everybody gets this one wrong.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
If you get this one right, then you've messed me up.
Okay.
What is the number one reason why businesses fail? And everybody in the chat, put down what you think it is. The number one reason. There you go, Sterling. Just read them off what you see. The number one reason why new business.
Come on, folks. Let me hear it. Let me see it. I think I know why. But I'm going to wait to hear what money. People are saying money. Let's see. Lack of support. Management stress. Paul, I think we lost you. You're frozen. Lack of confidence. Not taking small steps. I think we got to wait for Paul. He's frozen again, but he'll be right back. I'm so happy you all are enjoying this. While we wait for him to come back, please make sure you share this out. Share it out. Send this to someone's inbox. Let them get this message, right? Lack of research, knowledge, discipline, passion, inconsistency, marketing. Hey! Family, lack of... You're back? Okay. We got some good answers.
So here's the thing. All right, read them to me real quick so I can hear.
Okay, so money, stress, management, lack of support, lack of confidence, not taking small steps, lack of a plan, family, marketing, inconsistency, debt, lack of research, knowledge, discipline, passion.
Guess what?
Yes.
No one said the answer yet.
Okay, let me see.
Nobody said it yet.
They're not being prepared.
No.
Oh, they jump too quick.
No. I mean, nobody said it right on the money yet. Nobody said it. And here's the thing. The reason why I wanted to ask you this is because this is the myth out there is that it's all those things.
Yes.
But that's not what it is. You know what the number one reason why new businesses fail? Overwhelmingly. You know what it is?
What?
No market need.
Oh.
For what you're doing. A lot of people will say, oh, you know what? I've got to, they'll think of something, right? Like it's a phone. It's like, they'll think of something.
This water with ginger and turmeric in the bottom.
Exactly. It starts selling ginger. But that's not what people need. That's not what they want, right? And so what we have to do, and so this answers that question, is what do you do? Like the first thing you should do is start figuring out, is there a market need for your product or service? You have to test your product or service against the market. And so that's where you could begin when you're not even full-time, when you're just part-time.
Y'all hear that? Start saying what people need. Do people need your chocolate chip cookies? Do people need your extra, headband that doesn't slip off? What do people need? And that really makes sense because it's so true. I know for me, and this is something, Paul, that really stuck with me. At Epic, the conference where I met Paul, we were having a conversation and I was telling him about my 95 different ideas and things that I was doing. And he was saying, well, you know what? A lot of people get caught up in that cycle because I said I started out with personal development, right? But I'm not really knowing how to position it and things like that. And then people started asking me about social media. So then I started teaching social media skills. But now social media has completely changed just from yesterday. And I just started doing that. And so then you get in the cycle of just doing things to be doing things and not really understanding if there's an actual need for that. And now you wasted your time, energy, and then you get discouraged.
Yep.
And you quit.
Yep.
So y'all hear that from the man himself.
Here, there's a market need. That's the number one thing you have to do. Number one thing.
Yes. Michelle, yes. Miss Ad Ankara, she's saying she's so glad she made it to this show, educational and sharing now. Yes, there was a lot of gems. Listen, this could be for your personal development tomorrow. Listen to this video again and pick up the gems. You know, like when you watch a movie one time and you didn't get everything, and then you watch it the second time, you're like, wait a minute, that happened? I didn't know that.
That's why I'm going back to see Black Panther again. I gotta say, because there are a lot of things that I think I missed, so I got to get back into it.
Paul, guess what? I was so happy you didn't give any spoilers. I didn't see it yet because I was sick last week.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna
go see it on Saturday. Yes. So listen, I am so grateful to have Paul on the first episode of season 3, but most importantly, I am grateful that Paul is going to be rocking the house in Providence, Rhode Island. I don't think he's been there in a long time. Etienne Cote, I'm not sure if you know him. Yeah, so he said that the last time you were here was about, like when he was in college, and he's well.
So, he was in college, yeah.
It was a while ago.
I think it was about 8 years ago.
Okay, so he's coming, and you want to see him in person. One of the reasons why he's really a cool guy is that he doesn't have airs about him. You know, some people you're just like, okay, they look good. They talking all of this smack on and giving all these gems right now, but when you see them in person, you're kind of like, ooh, why are you so nasty? Not at all. Really, really nice, personable person, and I'm so grateful to have him at PolishCon 2018. Y'all go and get your tickets. It's the ultimate personal development experience. One of the comments we got last year from, I should have said one of the comments, a lot of people said this, that they've been to events all across the country, but they've never been to an event like the one I put on, where everyone in the room felt like they belonged. They felt like there was no side eye, like, why is she looking at me? None of that. There was really a warm, receiving place. So if you are looking for your home, if you're looking to learn tips, tools, and resources, implementable steps to increase the level of investment in your personal development, you need to be at PolishCon. I have a payment plan. We have an early bird special right now. I'm taking excuses off the table for you. Show up for yourself. This is not for me or Paul. This is literally created for you to show up for yourself. So, Paul, thank you so much.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
And also, I want to thank everybody watching, and especially the folks who are taking the advice and running with it. I really, really respect that. So thank you.
Thank you. Y'all, this is Sterling Clinton Spellman, the Polisher. Y'all have an awesome night. Thank you for tuning in. Share. Don't be selfish. Share. Let people get this information. I'll talk to y'all soon.